Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Kid Tarot. I've already cleansed the space, and I've already started reading. As far as just jotting down the image that came to me this morning, and making some notes in my journal. I definitely had a tough time sleeping last night. There was just a lot of restlessness, and I felt like every time I woke up, I was in the middle of like deep thought. It was a long night, but nonetheless, I wanted to start my morning with reading, and I think just going forward, I think I'm gonna try to do that every day. Start my morning thinking about my dreams, jotting down my notes, jotting down the images that come to my mind, and recording a reading with you guys. So, this morning I definitely feel very strongly that this reading is for divine feminine energy. However, part of what I was tussling with last night was that a lot of the readings that I did yesterday, I feel are not one particular energy or the other, but more so your vantage point looking at that same thing. So just like, what it would look like if you're standing here looking out at this and standing here looking out. So take that for what it is. The notes that I have today are about restlessness. You may feel a sense of restlessness, like you're waiting for something, like you have a lot of anxiety pent up towards something. You're not entirely sure what that's directed. I'm just hearing be physical and just move that energy through your body. You will know what to do with it shortly. We're going to be, the three decks that I'm called to work with today are the Moonology, or actually are four. It was the Moonology deck, the Isis deck, the Karmic deck, and the Earth Warriors deck. And I do think that I'll be utilizing that Earth Warriors deck probably almost every reading going forward until I'm directed otherwise. So I think it's important for the Earth Angels at this time to receive the prayers and the invocations that are in this deck. I just heard self-initiation that they're going through, self-initiation, and so this is a useful tool. So as far as the notes that I've jotted down before I start pulling cards, it was really about the feminine energies awakening to this self-initiation, that you are in fact carrying yourself through a physical initiation process in this 3D reality. I'm just seeing that it takes place in your dreams. You're doing a lot of this labor in your dreams, and so for some of you, you've been feeling tired, and the reason why you're feeling tired is because you are so very active in your sleep right now. So you're encouraged to rest during the day and like during your awakened state, because you're actually doing a lot of work over your physical body in your dream state. And then the Karmic Tales deck, the note that I have here was that this is going to take a look at what's bothering you or what you need to face right now. The Moonology deck is what you need to hold on to, what emotional belief you need to hold on to, almost like your hope. Right now, this is what's being illuminated for you. This is what you need to tend to emotionally. You may find also that you felt unnecessarily sensitive lately, that you're not, and I think part of the reason why you're so confused is because you don't understand where that's coming from, because your magnetism has been high. There's been really good things are coming your way, or maybe some of them have already trickled in, like you may have gotten money that you weren't expecting to get, or I don't know, you know, just there's been some what I'm hearing you say is unnecessarily nice things have been happening, even though you appreciate them. You're like, well, I don't know why that happened. So more and more of that is coming in. And the Earth Warriors deck, I think we already talked about, but just healing, where you need to turn your focus to inward at this time. And the last two notes that I had here was just avoiding helps no one succeed. So there's something that you're avoiding, some conversation or some conflict is what I hear, is like that's where tension is coming from. But avoiding that helps no one succeed. And then the last note was your sphere of influence. So your sphere of influence, and that's connected to that magnetism. Your sphere of influence is increasing. I just see it almost like as a blue orb that's expanding. Your sphere of influence is increasing. You may be questioning whether or not you deserve it. You're worthy. Say that to yourself as many times a day as you possibly can. I know it's a conflict for you, but you are worthy. And all the good things that are coming in for you right now are not simply because good things happen sometimes, but good things are happening to you for a reason. I'm just hearing like spiritual tests, like you have been tested and you're being... The phrase that came out was tested and approved. Tested and approved. This little tower that I have in the background is sticking out to me, so I'm just going to move it to the forefront. Alright. Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, all those concerned with the highest good and the highest good of all those concerned with us. What is the belief that we need to hold on to right now? What is it in our emotional state that we need to turn inward and focus on? What is being illuminated for us at this time? Self-initiation, I hear self-initiation feels so scary. You're wondering if you're doing it right. You're fine. I'm just hearing God say you're fine. Let that one go. All right. So it says, a time to give rather than to take. A time to give rather than to take. I don't know, I had the image of two kids like tug-of-warring over something. Maybe people are maybe things are being asked of you at this time that you feel a little bit hesitant to give. Giving of yourself. All this green makes you think of your heart. Maybe giving of your heart right now feels like something you're a little bit resistant to, but it is a time to give rather than to take. Just hearing that so many people are blessed by your presence. You don't necessarily need to do anything. I just feel a great sense like you're always consistently worried about whether or not you're doing enough. Are you doing enough? Are you doing enough? Or beating yourself up because you feel like you haven't done enough. But simply being, people are renewed just simply being with you. So that's what I got out of that. And then a time for healing. A time for healing. And I just, this little light here, it just caused such a softness. I think I mentioned that earlier. We were talking about the notes of you, like you may be tired. You may feel very much called to rest. Even in your waking state, you're like, oh, I've been sleeping so much, and I still, every time I wake up, I just feel exhausted. It's because you're really doing a lot of work in your sleep. You're doing a lot of healing work over yourself. So just take the time to let your physical body heal. Get lots of water. Get lots of greenery, fresh fruit, fresh veggies. Get outside. Increase green right now. If you can bring a plant into your home, if you can get outside and just sit and stare at the trees, or just bring that into your space. So I'm going to pull one card of truth from the Isis deck. Oh, there are two cards. We're going to roll what she has. That serious card popped out yesterday as well. I think I'm going to... How funny. So both of these cards popped out in the reading yesterday when I wanted to pray for a healing over the folks that were affected by the topics in the trigger warning videos yesterday. But perhaps that may be this collective trauma may be something that we all have in common. So the two cards that popped out, and I'm also going to take this Serpent of Fire, just staring at that fire. So the two cards that popped out, Lady of the Stars. Sirius is a celestial goddess, a star of unconditional love and wisdom at an extremely high vibration. I think that's what that shaking is that you're experiencing, that high anxiety. She's working over you at this time. She brings, and I just get an image of like your left leg shaking. She brings deep soul awakening, spiritual gifts, and a high capacity for divine service. She asks you to pay attention now because something significant is taking place at a spiritual level for you at this time. So again, especially with this coming out 2 days in a row, I don't think the message could be any clearer from Sirius this time. And then we have Isis here taking our hand, guiding us deeper into this eternal flame. And its portal of light. It is only this physical reality that's bound by time and space. You are a conscious being on levels beyond the physical world. You are guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space. You will not become ungrounded through such spiritual work. You are not leaving your earthly connection behind. You are merely adding to it. Also, with it being under this green, what I'm picking up is that you may, part of the reason why you may feel ungrounded, where you may feel like you're spacey right now or you're not always present, is because of the root chakra challenges. I don't want to say damage, but the challenges that we faced early on were also they could knock your root chakra out of alignment. So grounding, being outside, putting your feet in the dirt. I know for some of us it feels icky, but even if you just step out into your backyard or go to the park, take off your shoes, take off your socks, put your feet in the dirt, and just feel into the earth, and that's enough. Just that's enough. Just keep at that. You're gonna see it manifest itself in your I say your regular life, but in your daily life, as you start to trend towards things that you haven't been so much lately, or going back towards healthier habits that you had kind of strayed away from. You're gonna need to give yourself that sense of safety and foundation in order to not feel so triggered, is truly the word, by all this high anxiety, by all this high vibration. At one point, it was very natural for you to be in this high vibrational state, and things occurred that, and I just again hear that the wires got crossed. So you at times, especially with all the energy that is moving over us this time, you're feeling symptoms of ascension and you're feeling symptoms of awakening that are frightening you or scaring you, because physically the time that your body remembers going through that experience, there were other more sinister things taking place. This is not that. What's coming for you is truly beautiful. The last card that I pulled from that deck, from the Isis Oracle deck, was Serpent of Fire. This is the image here. If you watched the readings from yesterday, this image of the sisterhood here, folks staring back at one another, this reflection was also depicted in those cards. But we see Isis here again in her full authority, mastering not only of herself, but also in cooperation with this serpent. I do not get the sense that this serpent is any less powerful or in any way trapped, but that they are collaboratively working together towards an end. And so we see the Serpent of Fire. It says, do not assess your current ability based on past standards. They no longer apply to you. You are stronger and more powerful now than you have been before. You need to learn afresh what you are capable of, and Isis helps you now. So call Isis in. She's here to help you now as you develop yourself even further. And there's no need to be afraid of yourself. There's no need to be afraid of your gifts and abilities. This is not, I just heard like it's not your first time at the rodeo. So I can keep these here. It's not your first time at the rodeo, is what I heard. Competence feels really important to this group. Like if you're not able to do something from a place of extreme confidence, it's just very unnerving for you. So I may want to sit with that if that resonates. Okay, so in my notes, the Karmic Tales deck was what is bothering you at this time. I just kind of get the sense of like what's coming into your force field. Just kind of setting you off unnecessarily. Alright. So we got broke, low on funds. So you may be experiencing some financial troubles right now. Also just hearing like you're needing to change your attitude about this situation. It's going to change. Abundance is coming to you. Money will not be an issue soon if you're able to deal with your attitude towards it. Like if you continue to believe and compare yourself to others and see yourself from a place of lack, it's just going to make this more difficult to come into you. I almost get the sense that it still will, but maybe not flow as freely, or maybe you just might not be able to enjoy it as much, or it may come with other ties or strings, if you're kind of thwarting it. But you're unnecessarily comparing yourself to others where they are and where you are, and I'm just getting also that you need to take the baby steps. Like you're going to experience an increase at a much faster rate than even they did. I'm also hearing surpass. Like you will eventually surpass this time and energy that you're spending comparing yourself to them is just simply unnecessary. The next card that popped out was someone you know, and I do feel very much like this ties in with this money card and how your increase comes about. Someone you know, you may want to be working on increasing your network. So again, this was things that were bothering you or that are coming into your field. So someone you know may be coming in to help you with achieve that increase. Feel your way through that. Don't lean into the comparison. Feel your way through. I'm just hearing who to trust. You may be wondering who to trust. I see that these two ladies have notepads. I heard contracts. There may be contracts in your future. You're going to want to read them. You're going to want to take a look at them. I see both of these ladies have their pens drawn, but they're staring at one another. So essentially almost like they're taking notes of what they see and what we're agreeing to. So there may be some business partnerships that are coming in, some contracts that are coming in. Read over those. Make sure that they're fair and balanced. and know that the people that you're dealing with are of the same caliber that you are. The negative comparison is simply in your mind. On top of that deck was fake friends, and I just heard you're gonna want to remove fake friends. And fake friends also with these notebooks again. Like fake friends may be like the proof is in the pudding. The notes, like there's notes on that. I don't know, check your emails, check your text. Like fake friends wouldn't put it in writing or something like okay. Like get receipts. So I was thinking fake friends wouldn't put it in writing. You're gonna want receipts, or you're gonna receive receipts. All right, and so for the last card of this reading, we're gonna pull from the Earth Warriors deck again. Just feel very much called to offer these as a daily healing for the Earth Angels at this time. Mother Gaia, Father Sun, Mother Moon. What messages do you have for us at this time? My beautiful elementals. I just heard grandmother. Grandmother. There's a grandmother energy that's over you. It's very grand. It's very large. It's watching over you now. Just heard again, you are enough. Okay. So these three cards popped out. I hesitate to take them all because they are such long readings. But I do feel very much called to read this one in particular. So let's take a look. So 12 is Amuda. It says Sage of Higher Knowledge. And we see that higher knowledge enveloping him at this time, coming down and pouring over in a rainbow through all of his chakra energies. We see the owl, which typically represents wisdom, and we also see the phases of the moon there. So some of you, I just also heard night owl. Some of you may be having trouble sleeping at night. You may be up and active, like doing work or writing. I just heard don't resist that. Just go ahead and flow with that. It's almost like downloads, channeling spiritual downloads. You're having a lot of these like aha moments. Just flow with it. So Sage of Higher Knowledge, it says seek what feels true even beyond the logical. If something doesn't feel right, challenge it and dig deeper. Educate and inform yourself on matters of importance to you. Trust your mind is strong and bright enough to do this. Embrace your self-esteem by searching for information and trusting your intuition to help you discern what is useful and true. Have faith in your mental abilities. If others have criticized you or made you feel inadequate in understanding, cast that off as belonging to the past and not relevant to who you are now. You will become immune to manipulation by others who may be convincing but not necessarily accurate or helpful. Trust the power of your mind to receive and recognize the answers you need. You will find your way. So, and then it's just telling you to test all opinions, advice, research, and alleged facts according to your intuition and instinct. Discern that which is helpful and that which is best to set aside, even if just for a time. I'm also hearing just, you don't need to burn any bridges. It just may not be for you at this time. Take time to inform yourself. So the healing process of this card is finding a place to relax and saying this prayer aloud. I call upon the grace of unconditional love and the truth of the divine mind, to empty and cleanse my mind and emotional body from fixed opinion, half truths, and deceptions. May I trust and be patient so that I can see and know the highest level of truth available to me. May I give and receive peace, enlightenment, and helpful, accurate communication. May divine light shine bright and help all beings find their way through my own free will. So be it. 36 Mayu, Soma of the Galactic Heart. And definitely, I would highly encourage you, if you are doing these prayers and readings for yourself, take a moment between them and really feel into them. So 36, Soul of the Galactic Heart, may you, the divine mother's milk of the galaxy is feeding your soul. An expansion of your horizons, your spiritual purpose, and your sacred responsibilities is taking place. The divine potential within you is awakening at a higher turn of the creative spiral of consciousness. This oracle is a prophecy of an ascension and grace. So we heard a lot about that prophecy of ascension. We talked about the fact that we're in a personal initiation at this time, and this same galactic milk, this same spiritual galaxy light is shrouding both of these entities in this rainbow of love light. So I do think it's important to reference that both have them shooting down to their heart, and I think that's actually also in my image as well. There was one from the day before, and there was a golden light that was shooting up. So your soul has been going through a deep spiritual feeding process and is growing rapidly. The evidence of this is in the outer world be a sense of expanded opportunity, reach, connection, and spiritual experience. This oracle foretells the welcoming of a new phase in life. Newborn energies and fertility, whether biological, creative, or psychological, are being stimulated. The oracle indicates the discovery, development, and expression of talents. Okay. And then the prayer for this section is, with one hand on your heart, if possible, I invoke the unconditional love of the galactic heart and give thanks for all that is good, true, and nourishing of my being on all levels through unconditional love. I surrender with forgiveness and blessing any issue to do with mothering or being mothered, whether too much or too little. I release myself from false guilt, shame, and judgment now. I release the mother figures in my life with forgiveness in my heart, for I no longer wish to hold on to old pain. I acknowledge I am worthy and deserving of nourishment, straight from the sacred milk of unconditional love from the galactic mother. May all mothers receive healing and guidance, blessing and assistance from the divine mother of all souls. With trust, I now open myself to receive what is needed from the ecstatic fulfillment of my being through divine grace with gratitude. So it is. So then it goes on to ask you to close your eyes and meditate and rest. Gently focus on the light of the heart, at the heart of the center of the galactic goddess, and imagine, feel, or visualize or pretend that you're stepping right into that heart light as you either zone out or into sleep. Rest your eyes and meditate now. And when you're ready, you can ground yourself and return to the present. In each other we find ourselves. I hope you have a beautiful day. Do take that opportunity to rest and meditate today. I feel it's much needed. And the roses popped into my mind. Maybe you're with your grandmother. She may have had a rose bush or something to that effect. Okay. Praying for peace, blessings, healing, and discernment for everyone today. Thank you for spending some time with me.